Greetings and welcome to part 15 of the Infinity Watch. Okay, we've made it to part 15 and I'm going to rely on my notes this time because I've got a lot of them because this is one of my favourite films and a sequel to one of my favourite films. So straight away, as you already know because you've read the thing so you know what you're watching, this is part 15, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Great name for a start, I do love it. So that makes that retroactively recalling the first Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, which I've been doing ever since Volume 2 the name was released. So okay, usually I rely on the notes when it's either a really, really bad film or I've just got some important things to say. Like I did at the start of it when it came to close of I was doing my little bits about each film, which I ripped from IMDb, which I figured you could all, after a while, you could all work out and read those on IMDb rather than listen to me rant on about it. So I love this film and I had to make notes because let's face it, it is that good a film that I really didn't want to miss anything out that I actually was doing. So notes. So if I look down on this occasionally, you know why. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, one of my favourites in the MCU and one of the most eagerly anticipated because Volume 1 was that good. Okay, I mean, like I said in the first one, I basically was kissing its butt. Guardians of the Galaxy had the characters and everything there, and it continues with Volume 2. Right from the start, it gets you into it with the de-aged Kurt Russell, which is absolutely fantastic, and his Ego, Star-Lord's father. Now, we know who his father is, which is not the same father as in the comic books, but James Gunn did a fantastic job of actually, using Ego, a great character, and of course, bringing Laura Haddock back as Meredith Quill, his mother. So you get to see the relationship with his birth dad, and I say birth dad, which if you've seen the film, you'll understand, it's his father, but not his daddy. And Meredith Quill, Laura Haddock as Meredith Quill, so returning. Anyway, it is brilliant. And the de-aging of Kurt Russell is absolutely fantastic. I mean, come on, they had a lot of source material there that they could actually borrow from. But if you believe all the stuff, they didn't really have to do that much to him, because Kurt Russell still looks good for his age. He does. But going on off on a thing, cut to the whole thing, which was a real start where we actually meet the Guardians with Mr. Blue Sky with ELO, which is one of the great openings. I mean, I've said it, in the first one, everybody I know, well, most people I know, have the original soundtrack. And with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I bought the soundtrack on as soon as it came out, and I did not listen to it until I'd actually seen the film because I wanted to be immersed into the music like the first one. Admittedly, with the first one, I bought the soundtrack, or I got him as present afterwards because it was, first one, the soundtrack was so important, and it's just the same with this one. The soundtrack is an actual character in the film itself. So when Guardians Volume 2 came out, I did not want to know what was on it. I picked the soundtrack up, took it to the checkout, made sure that I did not see what was on this film. I did not want to know. I wanted to just be surprised. And Mr. Blue Sky at the start of the film, by ELO, fantastic. And this is one of the great openings, if not the best in a Marvel film. You got all the action taking place with the Guardians fighting off this creature, and they're focusing on the baby Groot, who's now no longer a little seedling or baby. He's grown, he's a baby, but he's moved on. It's I think it's 4 or so months after the first one. Yeah, I'll be wrong, maybe wrong, but it's months after the first one. So the Guardians are starting to become the family, the big key element in this film. Because this is what the Guardians are. They've got nobody, but they've got to accept themselves. They have turned into a family. They're not friends, they're family, as is referenced. So you've got it all. So all this action is taking place, and you're focusing on Groot because the action's brilliant, and it makes for a hysterically funny opening, and it sets the tone for the rest of the film. It's brilliant, I mean, it's like I said, it's a classic opening. I mean, everything in this film was a perfect sequel. You could literally these characters, I mean, every one of them, you could sit there and watch them arguing, bickering, and just chatting in a room or in an elevator for 2 hours, and you still walk out of the film and going, yes, this is a great film because the characters are there. James Gunn and his writers have made a film where the characters are there. You love the characters, the bickering, and like I said, the whole family element of it. And it doesn't matter what they do, or you literally sit there and enjoy it and you wouldn't feel ripped off that you'd been sitting in a room, sitting there watching these characters just bickering for 2 or so hours because they are that good. And it's testament to the writers for doing this. You love them, you fall in love with them. Even the new ones like your Mantis, you just they sort of like you welcome him with with all your heart and with open arms, going welcome to the family, Mantis. So it's just brilliant. I love this, and the inclusion of Sly Stallone as one of the Ravagers is absolutely fantastic. Sly and the Michael Rooker as Yondu, the returning Yondu, the daddy role of substitute daddy for Star Lord. I mean, I love it. I'm a huge Cliffhanger fan, which 2018 Cliffhanger turns 25 this year. So having Sly and Michael Rooker on screen together was like, yes, because like I said, I love Cliffhanger, and you've got, I do, I love it. I mean, turning, Ego into the villain at the end, once you realise Ego's motive and everything, brilliant. I would love to have seen some moments with Sly and Ego. So Kurt Russell, Tango and Cash. So it's sort of like even just seeing them together at the pictures at the premiere and videos of the premiere. Sly, uh, Kurt Russell, Michael Rooker. Okay, fanboy heaven, because I've loved Sly's films since the late 80s. I mean, not much of a Rocky fan. I like Rambo, but Cliffhanger was a film that really brought Sylvester Stallone to my attention. Maybe you go, how great he is. But, Tango and Cash, great film. Demolition Man, going off on character films, which is, I could talk for 20 minutes, if not longer, about Guardians of the Galaxy. May come soon on a separate thing, not just in the Infinity Watch. So, I can't say too much. I mean, you know about this film, the characters there, but it's the family element. It's these characters. I have said it are family, and I'm going on to my notes. I mean, stuff that I can't say. It's brilliant. David Hasselhoff. They hint at David Hasselhoff how Star-Lord would tell people that his father was off on tour in Germany. I mean, and having him make an appearance when Ego turns into him towards the end, and over the credits, Guardians Inferno sang by David Hasselhoff. It's brilliant. The use of the chain. I can't I'm going on about the music, but I can't emphasize the use of music. The use of the chain when the Guardians are arguing and they break apart, and which is unusual in a film to have a song being played twice, but at the end, where the chain, as the later part of the song, where the chain keeps them together, how the group got back together, and it's the chain, the bonds that keep them together. They may have split up, gone their separate ways, for the necessity of the storyline, but at the end, when they use the chain for the second time, the chain keeps them together. It's just brilliant. I mean, they do it again in Thor Ragnarok, but the power of the songs. Thank you, James Gunn. For all this, I love it, and the chain keeps them together. It's brilliant. The cuteness overload with Baby Groot throughout the film is absolutely fantastic. The whole fact that Yondu, got to stress Yondu and Michael Rooker and Rocket Raccoon, absolutely brilliant. I mean, Michael Rooker's acting against a CG character for most of his time in the film. And you don't think of them as a CG character. It's just the interplay with each other. It's perfect. The heart of the film, the whole style, how the Rocket and Yondu pushing people away, and how that they're both essentially the same characters, and how they're all their faults are the same, and how they push people away because they're wanting to be alone and everything. It's brilliant. I mean, it runs over 2 hours, but I could have sat longer. They could have turned Guardians into a 5-hour film, and it would have still been absolutely fantastic. I'm going on to the longest video I've done so far. I mean, the 4 post credits and the end credits. The end credits absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's one of these films where you have to stay to the end. Even the credits as they roll up is fantastic. There's nothing wrong about this film. It is a perfect sequel. It's what you want from a sequel. It's not let down. I mean, watching it on Blu-ray, because I watch all this, in the Geek Rooms, Infinity Watch is on the Blu-ray. All the ones have been done, even though they've been on channels. I'm watching these on the Blu-rays. It's fantastic, and I love them. And I can't say anything wrong. If you've not seen Volume 2, watch Volume 2. I'm assuming you have by watching this. Like I said, I'm kissing this film's butt so much because I love Volume 2. One of the strongest films in the MCU. It's absolutely fantastic. And you know what? I'm going on to another one next. So is going to be Spider-Man Homecoming, which is in the Infinity Watch number 16. See you for that one. See you soon, and keep watching.